You are listening to Smedley Butler, The Complete Life Story, written by Brilliant Bio and narrated by Brandon Stone. Chapter 1. Introduction. Smedley Butler was a man of fierce conviction and unyielding courage. His career spanned 34 years of relentless service in the United States Marine Corps, thrusting him into the heart of nearly every major conflict the nation waged during its era of imperial expansion. He was a soldier's soldier, a battlefield commander whose bravery earned him more decorations than any Marine before him. Yet he died not as a venerated symbol of unquestioned patriotism, but as one of America's most scathing critics of war itself. From the moment he enlisted, still a teenager burning with the zeal of youth, Butler was propelled into the crucible of combat. He fought in the Philippine-American War, navigating the harsh realities of guerrilla warfare in an archipelago caught between colonial ambitions. He stood amidst the chaos of the Boxer Rebellion in China, where imperial powers collided in violent displays of dominance. In the heat of the Mexican Revolution, Butler's leadership shone during the U.S. occupation of Veracruz, earning him his first Medal of Honor. The so-called Banana Wars dragged him into the tangled jungles of Central America and the Caribbean, where he became both an enforcer of U.S. foreign interests and an eyewitness to the brutal consequences of American imperialism. Even during World War I, though kept from frontline combat in Europe, he played a critical role in shaping the Marine Corps' wartime strategy and maintaining order on the home front. By the end of his career, Butler had amassed an unparalleled collection of 16 military medals, including 5 for extraordinary heroism. He remains the only Marine to have been awarded both the Marine Corps Brevet Medal and 2 Medals of Honor, each for distinct acts of valor. His battlefield exploits became the stuff of legend, earning him the respect and loyalty of the men he led and the admiration of a nation eager to lionize its war heroes. Yet beneath the polished brass of his accolades lay a man increasingly disillusioned by the very system he had dedicated his life to serving. It was after his retirement from active duty that Butler's most remarkable transformation occurred. No longer bound by the rigid hierarchy of military command, he found his voice, and it was a voice that roared against the machinery of war. In 1933, Butler stood before a congressional committee and delivered testimony that shocked the nation. He claimed that a group of wealthy American industrialists had approached him to lead a coup d'etat against President Franklin D. Roosevelt, in what became known as the business plot. According to Butler, these conspirators sought to install a fascist regime, using him, a decorated war hero, as their figurehead to rally disaffected veterans and seize control of the government. The accused financiers and businessmen vehemently denied the allegations, and the media largely dismissed Butler as a sensationalist chasing shadows. Yet an investigation by a special House of Representatives committee validated key parts of his testimony, leaving a lingering question mark over the true extent of the conspiracy. Whether or not the plot could have succeeded, Butler's revelations exposed the fragile underpinnings of American democracy during a time of global political unrest. Butler's post-military crusade didn't end there. In 1935, he published War is a Racket, a blistering critique of American foreign policy that laid bare the economic motivations behind the wars he had fought. No longer a cog in the war machine, Butler became one of its most fearless whistleblowers. He argued that military interventions were rarely about noble causes like freedom or democracy, but were instead orchestrated to serve the financial interests of corporations and the elite. His words resonated with disillusioned veterans, pacifists, and working-class Americans who had borne the true cost of wars fought for profits they would never see. Until his death on June 21, 1940, Butler remained a tireless advocate for those who had been used and discarded by the systems of power, speaking at rallies, writing, and confronting the uncomfortable truths most preferred to ignore. His life was a paradox, a Marine whose courage in battle was rivaled only by his moral bravery in denouncing the very institutions that had celebrated him. Smedley Butler's legacy is not one-dimensional. He was a hero and a critic, a warrior and a whistleblower, a man who loved his country fiercely enough to challenge its dark.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?